Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion. KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust. Serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson Navigation, serving Guam and Micronesia for 20 years. Cars Plus, Dodge Challenger, the undisputed champion. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dedido. Always open, always local.
Coming up on this New Year's edition of Prime Time, after losing their father to vehicular homicide, one island family is forgiving the man convicted for the crime. Plus, after long and distinguished service as the island's chief medical examiner, Dr. Aurelio Espanola looks ahead to calling it a career. And also tonight, we introduce you to Baby New Year, the first child born on U.S. soil in the year 2018. Hafade Guam and Happy New Year. Hope you and your family have a pleasant 2018 so far. Well, with a new year evidently comes a new expense for us Guamanians as the hike in the controversial liquid fuel tax kicks in today. Already made into public policy, the legislation was somewhat criticized by island residents, standing against such an increase, equating to higher spending for, among other things, airfare and groceries. The law increases the tax on gas and liquid diesel throughout the territory. Check out KUAM.com for more on this story. Well, in other island news headlines, a family who lost their father in a deadly moped crash more than 4 years ago is now speaking out. Only 40 years old, James Aguero was riding a moped up in Jigo when he crashed into a car driven by Max Manabat. He was convicted of vehicular homicide just last week, but as KUAM's Nick Delgado reports, the Agueros are doing just more than remembering James. They are also offering forgiveness to Manabat.
James Aguero's family is now finding it much easier to move on.
For me, it's a huge relief. Because for all these years, we've been mourning and just, been very upset about it. I didn't get why it happened and why. I just wanted answers.
Amanda and her brother Trey were only teens when they got the bad news about their dad. She recalls the good times with him.
He always wanted to play with kids. He was very giving as well. When we were living with my mom and dad, my dad was always the one that was trying to get us things, buy us things that we want. And he was just one of those guys who people wanted to have around.
James died on August 2013. He was riding a moped north in Jigo when he crashed into a car attempting to turn off Marine Corps Drive. The driver of the car, Max Manabat, who was recently found guilty of vehicular homicide.
He was like the hammer of the family. He was always the caretaker.
Joe Diego is James's brother-in-law.
On behalf of James's siblings, namely Marcy, Joey, Marlene, and Rena, the verdict was somewhat bittersweet. I guess the good thing about it is time has allowed the family to heal somewhat and find it in their hearts to forgive.
Forgiveness for Max as they hold the memory of James closely.
They've come to forgive Max. They wish him well. We want to pray for him and his parents and the rest of his family. But we want him to know that the family has forgiven him. The time heals the broken heart, and definitely the hearts were broken since the accident happened.
Though the conclusion of the case won't bring him back, James's children leave this message to their father.
What he has done influenced me and it's made me want to almost become like him or do the stuff that he does.
I would just tell him that we hope that he's proud of everything that we have done. We did take after his footsteps. We both wrestle, and my dad was a wrestler. We recently went to England, so I'm hoping that, he's seeing every step that we take. Ever since this happened, it just motivated me to become very successful and just a better person for myself and for my family.
And a better person who she believes Dad is watching over. Reporting for Guam's News Network, Guahusi Nick Delgado.
All right, Nick, thanks so much. Quite the remarkable story and remarkable family. Thanks for that report. Well, in other news tonight, when was the last time you visited your local public library? Now, you may want to check out some of the new things the Guam Public Library System has on, including new services for patrons of all ages. Keani Mendiola reports.
Game on! It's a new year and new things are happening at your local library. As of Wednesday, the Guam Public Library will now have video game consoles available for play at all of their branches. Frank Afflequi is the spokesperson for the Guam Public Library.
So we're implementing a video game playing here at the library, not for checkout, but to actually play the games here in the library, and they are educational games. And it's for the Xbox and for the PS4.
The Guam Public Library received funding to purchase the new game consoles through the Institute of Museum and Library Services 2016 competitive grant and was approved in July 2016. Just a few of the games that will be available include Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader for Xbox and Just Dance 2015 for PS4. GPLS hopes this new service will entice Guam's teenage crowd to come into the library.
One of the targets that we're trying to reach out to come into the library and see the other services that we do have.
The Guam Public Library offers a wide array of services for people of all ages, children, teens, and even the young at heart. Manungku computer training classes will be offered to senior citizens beginning on January 22, 2018 throughout March 1st. The class will cover basic computer skills such as Microsoft Word, Excel, email, and internet use.
The last time we had this computer training was very successful. That after the sessions were done, they were calling to see when we were able to do it again. And this time we're able to do it now.
Classes will be broken down into 1-week sessions and be limited to 6 students. Registration is ongoing. For more information on any of these services, you can visit their website at gpls.guam.gov. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Kiani Mendiola.
Well, it is sure to be a better new year with shorter lines and less waiting times when going to the Department of Revenue and Taxation. It's now been a month since that agency opened up its satellite office downtown at the Agana Shopping Center, with agency director John Camacho saying the second office has been, to date, very effective.
Or before 5, in other words, it's working. So a lot of these people now are shifting, the people from the south side are, that are available, they're going there. So it's really working out. I think the public, is confident now and coming and getting their license renewed or getting a real ID, Guam ID.
Well, once again, if you didn't know, the Agana satellite office is only for those renewing or applying for their driver's licenses or Guam IDs. Well, as we reported on social media last weekend, a man and a woman wanted in connection to the strong-armed robbery at the Micronesia Mall in Dededo were arrested. Kelly Apinis, 18, was charged with robbery, theft, and conspiracy, while 19-year-old Kaylina Manglona, 19 years old, was charged with hindering apprehension and conspiracy to commit robbery. Well, the new year started off on a wonderful note as the first baby born on United States soil came into the world at the Guam Memorial Hospital a mere 2 seconds after midnight, while hundreds of his fellow Guamanians celebrated at nearby Ipao Beach. Baby Logan James Lynch Perez, the second son of mother Jenica Lynch and Devante Perez of Barragata, was born healthy and happy, weighing 6 pounds and being 18 inches tall. The 14th annual I Love Guam, where America's First Baby is Born program bestowed nearly $4,000 in prizes from various businesses for Logan and his family. Plus, and this is awesome, the family of last year's first baby, Kylie Tessalona, donated a gift basket of their own to Logan as well. We want to send our congratulations to Logan's family and Hafaday 2018. Well, we are just getting started, everybody. Please stay with us. We will be right back after this.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming with KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
2017 is rapidly coming to an end, and the big finish is on now. At Cars Plus in Mighty, get big year-end savings on a big selection of new 2017 Ram trucks, Jeep Wranglers, Dodge Challengers, and all Fiat models. Plus, buy from Cars Plus today and receive a Cars Plus value card where you get 21 cents off per gallon at all Shell stations. Big savings and 21 cents off per gallon with a Cars Plus value card when you buy during a big finish at Cars Plus in Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
For 20 years, Matson has been an important part of our everyday lives. Bringing in the cars we drive, the food we eat, and the materials that helped build our homes. From caring for our land through the Adahi Itano program to generously supporting our local charities, Matson has contributed to the preservation and growth of our island. On behalf of those you've served throughout your 20 years on Guam, Kidza Maasi Matson.
Introducing Taco Bell's latest work of art, the decadent new Stacker, with lavish layers of seasoned beef and melty cheese. Another delicious masterpiece, only at Taco Bell.
Let there be Christmas. Let there be joy. And let the light shine on the ones who need it most. Let there be Christmas, so merry and bright. And let all the children be in safe hands tonight. Please, Mr. Santa, don't know how grateful I would be. Yeah, no, no. Whoa, whoa.
Connect with KUAM News. Find us on your favorite social media platform. Follow us and stay in the know with Guam's news leader.
Welcome back, everybody, to this January 1st episode of Prime Time. Well, after serving over 2 decades as our island's chief medical examiner, Dr. Aurelio Espinola is making plans to retire. But who plans to take his place? Crystal Paco explains in this next story.
23 years as Guam's doctor for the dead. Chief Medical Examiner Dr. Aurelio Espinola's contract nears end in
2019, January 2019.
As Chief Medical Examiner, his job is to perform autopsies, especially for those who passed under unusual or suspicious circumstances. From there, he'll determine the cause and manner of death. The job often requires he work with police, investigators, witnesses, and the victims' families. When foul play is involved, his findings could result in an arrest and trial. What he says in court in front of a jury often determining a defendant's fate. His job isn't only on Guam, but he also serves as medical examiner for the CNMI and Palau, and also has some cases in Texas.
This is very important job anywhere, because if you don't have medical examiner, you can guess what will happen. The guilty will go free. We are the one who look for who testify in court if he's guilty or not.
But he has big shoes to fill, and few are qualified to apply.
It's hard to find, because there are very few medical examiners in the whole world. There are very few training programs.
Doctors for the dead require much more training than those with live patients, which could be why so few pursue the profession.
If you will go to surgery, you only need 4 years. If you go to forensic, at least 9 years.
Interestingly enough, Dr. Espinola first started his career delivering babies as an OBGYN. He explains why he changed paths.
That's ambition.
Ambition?
Yeah.
Ambition led you to this job?
That's right.
His secret to success in the field?
You don't use your heart.
Once retired, the 77-year-old plans to move back home to the Philippines and, surprisingly, work in a completely different field. He tells KUAM he'll manage a beauty parlor in Quezon City. He hopes that someone watching will want to take on his job, explaining that the workload is manageable and cases in Guam less violent than bigger jurisdictions.
There are few cases here, and the cases are not difficult.
In his career, he estimates he's examined 50,000+ dead bodies. While it's a thankless job, he doesn't seem to care.
I like this job period. I'm not looking for reward.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Crystal Paco.
Well, in other news, in an effort to help address the needs at the aforementioned Guam Memorial Hospital, Vice Speaker Therese Terlahi has introduced a bill addressing such needs at the hospital by way of the remaining hotel occupancy tax bond proceeds. She states in part, "We have consistently heard from our medical professionals and residents that GMH is in dire need of updated medical equipment and resources for modernization to better serve our community and save lives." She also says she hopes the bill may alleviate the need for proposed tax increases for hospital modernization projects. Well, staying true to your New Year's resolution to get fit and stay healthy may get a little bit easier if you're in the central part of the island, as Orda Chalampago's mayor has a plan for the village gym. Carmen Terlahi explains.
He had a dream of a multi-purpose gym 30,000 square feet in size in the heart of his village.
And so when I first took office in 2009, one of the things that I had made a commitment to the people of Orda Chalampago is I would try to find a way to build a gymnasium in the village.
Mayor Jesse Gogi wants to keep his promise to Orda Chalampago in the new year. It's a $3.9 million project, a gym at the Olympic level, located right near the baseball field. Its goal, promoting fitness and health for all of Guam, and even with a stage for the arts.
First and foremost, because it's a sports complex, is a lot of activities that are typically Olympic level activities. We want to be able to invite people who are athletes and want to compete at the Olympic level to have a government facility that they can come to and work out and or even hold tournaments.
Thinking of Olympic sports that we'll see in 2020, like squash and badminton, the mayor wants to include these facilities, along with concrete basketball and volleyball courts, saying they're on track to secure funding.
Of course, we have what we call general purpose rooms. So one of them will be converted into a weight room, so we can try to encourage people to train on weights, whether it be heavy lifting or but Olympic level type sports, and we'll hopefully be able to find the resources and monies to equip it.
The gym will be true to its name. Mayor Gogui even thinking far into the future, for in the event of natural disasters like typhoons, this would be a shelter, and schools could reopen sooner. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Carmen Victoria Terlahi.
All right, thanks, Carm. Finally tonight, the Guam International Airport Authority and 22 of its tenants and stakeholders partnered to end 2017 by giving back. The effort's called Deck the Halls and Give, a decorating program that offered airport tenants and vendors alike an opportunity to raise money for a good cause. Two local organizations that deal with autism, Autism Community Together, and Hunter Speaks were given their checks of $2,200 raised by each group. Wonderful work. All right, please stay tuned, everybody. Sports is coming up next, plus your New Year's birthday shout-outs when we return.
Christmas, let there be joy, and let the light shine on the ones who need it most. Let there be Christmas, so merry and bright. Let all the children be in safe hands tonight. Please, Mr. Santa, you don't know how grateful I would be. Yeah, no, no. Whoa,
Introducing Taco Bell's latest work of art, the decadent new Stacker, with lavish layers of seasoned beef and melty cheese. Another delicious masterpiece, only at Taco Bell.
2017 is rapidly coming to an end, and the big finish is on now. At Cars Plus in Mighty, get big year-end savings on a big selection of new 2017 Ram trucks, Jeep Wranglers, Dodge Challengers, and all Fiat models. Plus, buy from Cars Plus today and receive a Cars Plus value card where you get 21 cents off per gallon at all Shell stations. Big savings and 21 cents off per gallon with a Cars Plus value card when you buy during a big finish at Cars Plus in Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
May all the pizzas be half off online for a limited time.
Get 50% off Pizza Hut pizzas when you order online. Supreme, half off. Meat lovers, half off. 50% off mini price pizzas because no one out pizzas the Hut.
At kitchen tables, big and small, families throughout the island gather to remember the year that's passed and look forward to the year ahead. As we gather to say our novenas or eat panelas dogu, I know that many of us will talk about the future, the 2018 election. Who's ahead or who's behind? While that's normal, it's not nearly as important as the eternal message of love, compassion, and hope that's at the center of the Christmas season. The idea that we are bound to one another, that our job is to bring some small miracle to the lives of others, to feed the hungry, care for the sick, or resolve to build a Guam where everyone can come together and no one gets left behind. No one can do this important work alone, but together we can each do small acts of great love, and that will make all the difference in the world.
Merry Christmas!
I'm Lilian Guerrero and I approve this message.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
Happy New Year's, Guam. We start 2018 off with youth basketball from the Tamuning Gym. I also have some information on Academy's 5K Fun Run Walk. Check it out.
The 2017 Holiday Youth Basketball Camp came to an end after 4 days of basketball fun. 33 kids participated in the camp that was held at the Tamuning Gym. The kids learned the basic fundamentals of basketball and learned teamwork with an emphasis on respect of the game.
And now they're doing a mini tournament, and the team that wins will get all the prizes from the Junior NBA merchandise. And from the first day to the fourth day, it's been great. We've covered the fundamentals, the offense, the defense, and now it's time for them to perform out on the court with their coaches.
Helping out at this year's camp was Rodrigue Ibando, who is back from the Philippines. Ibando plays in the PBA D-League for CEU, Central Escolar University.
Since the first day of camp, it was really amazing working with the kids, just having fun over here and also teaching them the game of basketball. Because here in this camp, the bottom line first was just for them to have fun while playing basketball.
Heads up for all you runners out there, the Academy of Our Lady High School 5K Fun Run Walk takes place January 20th, 2018 in Agana at the school's campus. Showtime is scheduled for 5:15 in the morning with go time set for 6. You can register for the run at Academy of Our Lady High School. For more information, call 477-8203 or visit aolg.edu.gu for more information.
Well, that's going to do it for sports. We're back right after this.
I had a dream. I walked into a dealership, picked out a new car, gave them no money, and they're letting me drive it for free the next 3 months. At Nissan Guam, your dream has become a reality during the premier year-end event. For the holidays, you can drive away a new Nissan with no money down and not make a payment for the next 3 months. It's on the house. No money down. We make your first 3 payments. Just sign and drive away. For details, stop by Nissan Upper Kumon or log on NissanGuam.com.
May all the pizzas be half off online for a limited time.
Get 50% off Pizza Hut pizzas when you order online. Supreme, half off. Meat lovers, half off. 50% off mini price pizzas because no one out pizzas the Hut.
Your love is like a fireplace. Your warm, sweet embrace. I want to see your face again. Your love race again, 'cause I'm caught up in the current of your love. And as you walk in, the ice around my heart begins to melt in. The floodgates start to open as you rush in. I'm caught up in the current of your love. Our eyes beating, I can feel your energy, it's peaking.
Say hello to the widest 4G LTE network in the Marianas. Hop a day.
This is Aubrey. She lives in the island of Rota. Aubrey works at the mayor's office. And as the mayor's go-to for programs, events, and outreach, she's got a lot on her plate. A typical week includes organizing events, sharing them as they happen, managing community programs, keeping the mayor updated, all while sparing time for the obligatory Ala Fruta. Wherever she is, Aubrey can keep Rota's community engaged and informed.
Gosh, just look at that view. Always fast, always clear.
When she calls here,
it's fast and clear.
When she shares here,
it's fast and clear.
When she streams here,
it's fast and clear. Everywhere fast, everywhere clear. With the widest 4G LTE network in the Marianas. Docomo Pacific, better together.
Ooh, what do we have here? Tender morsels of deliciousness. Wait, back that up. I see you, your little golden brown temptresses, and oh, all that juicy goodness. Wait, is that a new sauce? Where are my car keys? I'm on my way, Mickey D's.
Introducing McDonald's new Buttermilk Crispy Tenders. Juicy and breaded to perfection. Hurry in and get 4 for you or 10 to share.
That's right. My tender game just got an upgrade. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Attention drivers, it's your last chance to save big during Triple J Auto Group's absolute year-end clearance. Get unbelievable savings on all remaining 2017s plus mini 2018s. Take advantage of our lowest prices of the year on Hondas, Acuras, Fords, Mazdas, Lincolns, Volvos, Kias, and used cars. New cars as low as $137 per paycheck, and used cars as low as $80 per paycheck. See PDN and post-print ad for details. Visit us online at triplejguam.com and get pre-approved instantly. Trade-ins welcome. Some conditions apply. See dealer for details. Triple J Auto Group. Customers first.
Well, if you happen to be a New Year's birthday baby, your day pretty much started with fireworks, and it ends now, almost, with us saying happy birthday to you for the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club. Here is the first Cold Stone Creamery birthday shout-out of the year 2018. Happy birthday to Mark Mendiola. Daddy, happy birthday. Say your kids as well as your lovely wife. Also, happy birthday to Noah Anthony Regis Babalta from Dad, Grandma, Papa, Nana, and Tata Babalta. Happy New Year's birthday to KUAM kid Michael Joseph Perez. Happy first day, MJ. We are so blessed to have you in our lives, and we love you with all of our hearts from Mama and Dada. And happy New Year's birthday to Cheyenne Amira Chan Gumabon. Happy birthday, everyone, and Happy New Year. Okay, of course, I just mentioned fireworks just a few seconds ago, so what would the show be without taking a look back at the fireworks? They were awesome, and they happened exactly at midnight tonight. Here is a special montage courtesy of our very own Whisper de la Cruz and Byron Rodriguez. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome 2018. Here are your New Year's fireworks.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion.
The stations of KUAM, wishing you and yours a very happy holiday.
Hafide Guahusi Nick Delgado.
And I'm Crystal Paco. 2017 was a big news year. Several stories dominated our headlines, including the trial against former University of Guam psychology professor Dr. Michael Ellert, who was eventually convicted of sexually assaulting 2 of the 3 women who accused him.
Then there's that high-speed chase from Barrigada to Dededo, the gunman shooting at police through traffic. It ended up north with police eventually taking the gunman down.
As you can see, there were plenty of big stories this year, but these are our top 10.
This year saw the filings of multiple ethics complaints against various elected leaders, but one of the most notable ones were against Senator James Espaldon and Congresswoman Madeline Berdalio. Amid wide speculation, it was in late May the legislature's Ethics Committee finally confirmed it received and was looking into a complaint filed against Espaldon. CNMI Representative Edwin Probst filed the complaint on May 16th, concerned about Senator Espaldon's connection to a Saipan company accused of fraud. Specifically, Espaldon was under investigation for his alleged involvement in a generator deal between the Commonwealth Utilities Corps in the Northern Mariana Islands and a company with connections to one of his staffers. In September, the Ethics Committee recommended Espaldon's removal from his leadership positions for the remainder of the legislative term. Additionally, the committee found him in violation of the Code of Ethics and Standards, which states a member or staff employee of Legislaton Guahan shall conduct the person's life, both public and private, so as to bring honor and respect to the person's office. Espaldon responded, "The Ethics Committee considered 4 potential ethics charges against me, so I am gratified that 3 charges were dismissed and they found only 1 ethical violation." The Republican lawmaker added that since the matter will go before the full legislative body for a final resolution, he can expect an open, fair, and honest discussion of the charge against him. Meanwhile, it was also in September that more information was released about a complaint filed with the House Ethics Committee against Congresswoman Berdalio. According to a report posted on the committee's website, Berdalio is under scrutiny for renting her Tamuning home to the Japanese consulate, which may violate House rules for receiving profit from a foreign government. The report stated a former chief of staff raised concerns about the rental agreement, but Berdalio stated there was nothing wrong and declined to discuss it with the Congressional Ethics Office. She's also under review for receiving free lodging, meals, and amenities at the Outrigger Guam, a hotel owned by her sister's family, and also for using her representational allowance to pay for some of the lodging expenses. The rules do not allow members to pay for lodging while in their home districts. Berdalio released a statement saying she is cooperating with the ethics review and believes there has been no violation of federal law or House rules. It started as a typical Sunday afternoon for a family in Dededo. That is until
I turned my head to the door and a guy was standing there at the door looking at me with a gun.
Armed with a gun, Vicente Cruz demanded the keys to their car.
I walked around the house to the back to warn my kids, but he was following me with a gun.
Cruz then barged in. Minutes later, police arrived, surrounding the Chalanatibu home.
I went like this, and I kept pointing like that. I said, this inside, this inside.
For several hours, the family was held hostage.
My first thought was, yes, I wanted to go outrage and grab anything and go crazy with him because he's in my home, fearing my family.
This while the suspect's family was outside, hoping Cruz would surrender.
Whatever he's doing, bad, stop.
Throughout the entire 5-hour ordeal, gunfire was exchanged between police and Cruz until police managed to throw a stun grenade inside the front door. This gave one of the family members the opportunity to hold Cruz down and police the ability to take him into custody.
We did what we had to do, and I'm very proud of everybody in the Guam Police Department and what they're working. I'm very proud of the officers that responded up here.
Cruz was arrested and indicted for home invasion, attempted murder, and kidnapping, among a slew of other charges.
After spending 4 years in jail, in October, Alan Agababa walked out of the Department of Corrections.
He is a free man. He is released from custody and the case is dismissed, so the case is no longer pending against him.
Agababa was tried twice for allegedly killing his mother, 55-year-old Shelley Bernstein, to collect up to $400,000 in her death benefits. Both times, the government failed to produce enough evidence to convict him of aggravated murder. Both trials resulted in hung juries and rendered mistrials. Though the government argued Bernstein died from blunt force trauma to the head, no murder weapon was ever found. They later proposed Agababa place fentanyl patches on his mother, but again could not prove he did so. On the night she was found dead in her Toomening home, Bernstein had 3 of these prescription painkiller patches on her arm and others on her bed. Attorney General Elizabeth Barrett Anderson reacted, stating, quote, "Our job is to seek justice by ensuring the guilty are held accountable. The innocent are protected from unwarranted harm, and the rights of all participants, including victims of crime, are respected. Based on the present evidence, justice is served by dismissal without prejudice of this case," end quote. The Attorney General concluding they will not be pursuing a third trial.
3 down, 7 more to go.
Stay tuned. Our countdown of the top 10 stories of 2017 continues after the break.
But first, here are the biggest tweets that you shared this year for 2017.
Watch Think Green every Wednesday on KUAM News for a look on how energy efficiency can help manage your energy costs. Think Green showcases products and services from local companies offering products that qualify for cash rebates, conserving energy, or other GPA energy services. Presented by GPA, bringing energy solutions to you.
The Good Life, all month long on the stations and networks of KUAM. Check the KUAM News app or KUAM.com for all program listings.
Being a teenager is hard.
Don't even think about it.
I'm going back home to the place where I belong.
I'm on track for a college scholarship. Is she okay? It's my mom. Were you drinking?
No.
I have an idea. I'd just like you to give it a chance.
This is high school.
Right now, let's dream big.
Hi, I'm Seth Meyers, and I'm hosting this year's Golden Globes, and we have a lot to talk about.
It's Hollywood's biggest party.
Sit down!
With all the stars on one special night.
The most tainted men.
Talented?
Talented men.
Everyone's gonna be there. What's that? Oh, yeah, no, I forgot about him. Well, good. No one wants him there.
The 75th Golden Globes, Sunday, January 7th on NBC.
It's every kid's dream to be an Olympian. I've kind of believed that I was going to be in the Olympics since I was 8 years old.
Everyone comes together. Everyone's united for the same reason.
There's no other event in the world that has this kind of impact.
You can feel when people from different backgrounds, different countries come together, but they're all rooting for one thing.
Representing the United States, it's a big honor, and I take that responsibility to heart.
You are what your country has sent out as the best it has to offer.
You're sharing that experience with everybody who's helped you get there, everybody who's watching you on TV and cheering you on.
You're a part of something that's much larger than yourself.
All eyes across the world are watching you do what you love to do.
It's like nothing else.
Welcome back to our countdown of the top 10 stories of the year.
Here's a look at the next 3 stories on our list.
More than 2 years after he was arrested and accused of murdering his fellow police officer, Mark Torrey Jr. finally stood trial for the shooting death of Albert Piolo. Opening statements were given on January 30th. While the prosecution argued that Piolo died at the hands of a drunk and belligerent Torrey Jr., the defense maintained Piolo shot himself and that Torrey Jr. was trying to stop him. On day 13 of the 15-day trial, Torrey Jr. took the stand, testifying that he and Piolo were drinking in Tumon. Torrey Jr. said he blacked out.
My next memory is I hear a loud boom and I feel a concussion as if a gun or a bomb, just a loud boom. And at that moment, it's like a flash where your eyes are open, and I'm standing by the driver's side, and there's a side of a person partially on the driver's seat area where it's just blood coming out.
After nearly 3 days of deliberations, the jury found Torrey Jr. guilty of negligent homicide, aggravated assault as a third-degree felony, plus guilty on the special allegations of possession and use of a deadly weapon in the commission of a felony. He was acquitted for murder, manslaughter, and aggravated assault in the second degree. Piolo's family couldn't believe the verdict.
I lost my brother, and what do? You walk away. That's like a slap on the wrist. You know? My brother's served GPD and for 14 years, dude, and he has 4 kids. You know, he had so much things in his life ahead of him, and he did a good deed to drop you home. And what he gets, you do this to him, blindsided him.
In June, Torrey Jr. was sentenced to 8 years in prison, but he's been under house arrest pending an appeal.
2017 brought the end of casino gambling at the Liberation Carnival with the introduction of Bill 50 by Senator Talina Nelson in March.
I hope this passes is because, gambling is an addiction that affects our families and our communities. And if we had the ability to do good, then we should start having the courage to fight for what is right and what is good.
The introduction was immediately opposed by the Mayor's Council of Guam, which uses the revenue from the Carnival Casino to pay for things like fireworks and entertainment.
If the gaming part is ceased, then please amend the law, which places the responsibility to the Mayor's Council of Guam. Get it away from us.
While the mayors opposed the legislation, anti-gambling group Keep Guam Good and Linatlasin Casino led the movement to get it passed.
Ultimately, really, that's really what we want. We ultimately did away with what I call poker machines in every village, okay? And we devised Linatlasin Casino because to me it was really, I think the poker machines are ending up being really what we call a mini casino, and that's it's bad for the people of Guam. It's bad for the economy.
On June 8th, Bill 50 passed unanimously. After its passage, Governor DeCalvo said although he's never been a fan of gambling, the legislature took away the funding the mayors needed on the eve of Liberation festivities without providing alternate resources to fund the festivities. The governor let the legislation lapse into law. As the number of child sex abuse lawsuits against the Archdiocese of Agana continues to climb, 2017 saw major changes for the Catholic Church. It was in March, Coadjutor Archbishop Michael Burns announced the establishment of a settlement fund of $1 million to aid victims of child sex abuse. About 1 month later, the church then announced the creation of Hope and Healing Guam, an independent third-party nonprofit organization dedicated to addressing the lawsuits. Attorney Michael Caspino of California was announced the executive director.
There is a great deal of pain on this island that has been caused by this abuse. And we want to do everything we can to help in that pain.
Throughout the remainder of 2017, there were motions that were argued in cases filed in the federal and local courts of Guam. But in October, Coadjutor Archbishop Michael Burns announced the closure and potential sale of the Redemptorist Mater Seminary in Jotnia. The RMS had been at the center of controversy between organizations like the Concerned Catholics of Guam and the Neo-Catechumenal Way.
My main reason for closing the seminary is that it's just not a sustainable model for the Archdiocese of Agana.
A part of the rush to close the doors to the RMS was to fund the anticipated settlement of the more than 100 clergy sex abuse lawsuits against the church.
With an expectation of potential settlement, we will need a certain lead time for the property to be kind of available. And so with an expected settlement time in March, April, as we've heard, I thought this was the more appropriate time to close.
Keep it here. We are getting closer to the #1 story of the year.
But first, Facebook was a huge deal for us, spawning countless conversations online. Here are the topics you engaged with the most in 2017.
We all have those special people in our lives, those mentors, colleagues, family, and friends who have impacted our lives in immeasurable ways. Join KUAM's Sabrina Salas-Matanani as she features the gift of friendship, love, and gratitude in a special digital series for the holiday season, The Gift of Blue, presented by Johnny Walker Blue Limited Edition Guam Legends Series, only on the digital media platforms of KUAM.
Get mixed up every week on In the Mix, Thursdays on the stations and networks of KUAM. In the Mix is presented by California Pizza Kitchen. Take a taste adventure with CPK's new menu. Visit them today at the Holiday Resort Hotel in Tumon.
Watch Health Check with Nurse Jen Artero every Tuesday for community health information, advisories, and news you and your family can use for leading a healthier lifestyle. Health Check during KUAM News Healthy Living. Health Check with Nurse Jen is presented by Island Cancer Center.
Hi, I'm Seth Meyers, and I'm hosting this year's Golden Globes, and we have a lot to talk about.
It's Hollywood's biggest party.
Sit down!
With all the stars on one special night.
The most tainted men. Talented men.
Everyone's going to be there. What's that? Oh, yeah, no, I forgot about him. Well, good. No one wants him there.
The 75th Golden Globes, Sunday, January 7th on NBC.
It's every kid's dream to be an Olympian. I've kind of believed that I was going to be in the Olympics since I was 8 years old.
Everyone comes together, everyone's united for the same reason.
There's no other event in the world that has this kind of impact. You can feel when people from different backgrounds, different countries come together, but they're all rooting for one thing. Representing the United States, it's a big honor, and I take that responsibility to heart.
You are what your country has sent out as the best it has to offer.
You're sharing that experience with everybody who's helped you get there, everybody who's watching you on TV and cheering you on.
You're a part of something that's much larger than yourself.
All eyes across the world are watching you do what you love to do.
It's like nothing else.
Welcome back. One of the next stories in our countdown made a lot of Guamanians reflect on their stance with the federal government.
And another dealt with a massive problem at the Department of Corrections.
In 2017, Governor Eddie Calvo made this surprising announcement during a Rotary Club meeting in April.
Myself, I and my administration will no longer support the buildup.
The reason? Governor Eddie Calvo said the federal government had a stranglehold on the island's economy. He cited as an example the denial of the H-2B visas, which has seen a drastic drop in recent years. The dire situation prompted the Guam Contractors Association and more than 12 local businesses to take Uncle Sam to court.
I'm requesting the Attorney General enjoin in the lawsuit with the contractors. As far as I'm concerned, it is a clear and present danger to our island economy.
That lawsuit is continuing to move through the federal court with the feds, making it clear it has no intention of settling the case. And while the governor denounced his support, the military continued to move forward. With the long-planned relocation of thousands of Marines from Okinawa, signing a $165 million contract to prepare the site of a new 400-acre Marine base in northern Guam, Major Tim Patrick is spokesman for Marine Corps Activity Guam.
This project right now is huge because it gets us ready to get the vertical part of the base going.
That wasn't the only military contract signed in 2017. The feds inked a $78 million contract awarded to Black Construction to build a firing range in northern Guam. This prompted Prutehi Lateksan to hold multiple protests, including forming a human chain to block entry into Andersen Air Force Base. This resulted in the arrest of a staffer employed by a local senator. It also led to an ethics complaint filed against a separate lawmaker who joined in the protest.
Call the base commander! Base commander to come on and go to the base on behalf of the military. Get him off the golf course!
The ethics complaint was eventually dismissed.
As the island celebrated Mes Chamorro, Guam's vote on political status was effectively stopped with a decision handed down by District Court of Guam Chief Judge Francis Tidinko Gatewood that determined local law related to the vote on self-determination was unconstitutional. The decision was based on a 2011 lawsuit filed by Arnold Dave Davis against the Guam Election Commission. 6 years ago, he was prohibited from registering on Guam's political status because local law only allows native inhabitants or descendants of one who was naturalized under the Organic Act in 1950 Rio register and vote in a plebiscite. Davis argued his constitutional rights were violated. Following the decision, a rally was held on the front lawn of Adelup.
The purpose of the gathering is for all the Samoros, non-Samoros to get together just to recognize our rights as Samoro people and for our community of Guam, our non-Samoros, to stand in solidarity with us.
Following the decision, Guam Attorney General Elizabeth Barrett Anderson filed a notice of appeal. Meanwhile, in October, another blow was dealt by the feds as the Justice Department filed a lawsuit to prohibit the Chamorro Land Trust Commission from refusing applications based on race or national origin. The Justice Department alleges the CLTC law is discriminatory and violates the Federal Fair Housing Act. The AG reacted, saying she plans to take the fight to preserve the Chamorro Land Trust Act to the highest court necessary. Barrett Anderson was actually the appointed Attorney General more than 25 years ago who argued against suit brought by the late Senator Angel Santos to force implementation of the Land Trust Act. And when the law was eventually implemented, Barrett Anderson was a senator who supported enactment.
Well, that was my job 26 years ago. My job today as the elected Attorney General is to fight for the laws of Guam, and our trial court has upheld this particular act, and I am going to defend the act as far as I possibly can.
The agency tasked with locking up criminals found itself locking up several of their officers. This year, multiple officers at the Department of Corrections, inmates, detainees, and others in the community were arrested and indicted in a major scheme to sneak contraband into the Manilao compound. One of the accused was the top person in charge of investigating officers accused of misconduct, DOC's head of Internal Affairs, Lieutenant Jeffrey Limo. With at least 30 active investigations into contraband, GPD took over the IA investigations. The entire ordeal questioned the integrity of the department.
It's a sad day for DOC. But you know, the reality is we need to let the judicial process take its course. But we also don't condone any illegal activities.
The bust at DOC was the result of ramped up efforts by the Guam Police Department's Mandania Drug Task Force.
It doesn't matter whether it's a stick of cigarette or whether it's crystal methamphetamine. If it's not allowed to be possessed by an inmate of the Department of Corrections for whatever reason, it's considered contraband, and we will treat it accordingly.
The contraband cases are still moving through the judicial system. Well, can you guess what our #1 story of the year is? We'll tell you after the break.
But first, Instagram. Here are the IG posts you reacted to most these past 12 months.
Watch Think Green every Wednesday on KUAM News for a look on how energy efficiency can help manage your energy costs. Think Green showcases products and services from local companies offering products that qualify for cash rebates, conserving energy, or other GPA energy services. Presented by GPA, bringing energy solutions to you.
Watch Health Check with Nurse Jen Artero every Tuesday for community health information, advisories, and news you and your family can use for leading a healthier lifestyle. Health Check during KUAM News Healthy Living. Health Check with Nurse Jen is presented by Island Cancer Center.
Being a teenager is hard.
Don't even think about it.
I'm going back home to the place where I belong.
I'm on track for a college scholarship.
Is she okay?
It's my mom.
Were you drinking?
No.
I have an idea. I'd just like you to give it a chance.
This is high school.
Right now, let's dream big.
Hi, I'm Seth Meyers, and I'm hosting this year's Golden Globes, and we have a lot to talk about.
It's Hollywood's biggest party.
Sit down!
With all the stars on one special night.
The most tainted men.
Talented?
Talented men.
Everyone's going to be there. What's that? Oh, yeah, no, I forgot about him. Well, good. No one wants him there.
The 75th Golden Globes, Sunday, January 7th on NBC.
It's every kid's dream to be an Olympian. I've kind of believed that I was going to be in the Olympics since I was 8 years old.
Everyone comes together. Everyone's united for the same reason.
There's no other event in the world that has this kind of impact. You can feel when people from different backgrounds, different countries come together, but they're all rooting for one thing. Representing the United States, it's a big honor, and I take that responsibility to heart.
You are what your country has sent out as the best it has to offer.
You're sharing that experience with everybody who's helped you get there, everybody who's watching you on TV and cheering you on.
You're a part of something that's much larger than yourself.
All eyes across the world are watching you do what you love to do.
It's like nothing else.
Welcome back. If you haven't guessed it yet, our #1 story had all eyes on Guam.
The threats from North Korea takes the top spot in our countdown of top 10 stories of 2017.
Media from all over the world descended on Guam after North Korean President Kim Jong-un began a series of missile tests.
North Korea best not make any more threats to the United States. They will be met with fire and fury.
The threats would continue, including one directly aimed at Guam.
Let's see what he does with Guam. He does something in Guam, it will be an event the likes of which nobody's seen before, what will happen in North Korea.
Island residents, like the rest of the world, watched and listened to the verbal crossfire.
We're worried, but not really scared.
Guam Homeland Security, the military, and Governor DeCalvo assured the community Guam was in no imminent danger and safe.
With the security umbrella that we have over Guam, and also based on what there is believed the capabilities of North Korea, there is at this time a belief that there is no need to increase the defense threat or level of threats to Guam.
The threats from Pyongyang would eventually prompt a phone call from the president.